Alright. Hello, everyone. I'm Magpie2541 here, and I'm once again with.
Sydpart2.
And we're doing something different than we normally do together. Normally, we're reviewing a movie, but we're going to talk about Doctor Who, and we're going to start off with how we got into it. I'll start with you, Sid. How'd you get into it?
Okay, well, there's an episode of Geeky Gentleman that just went very, very wrong. As far as just like I had a ton of technical difficulties and it was really bad. But it's myself and my British friend playing chess. And in the middle of the thing, because the chessboard is all based on dragons, and the queen basically kind of looks like a weeping angel. In the middle of the thing, he says, I've just got to, make sure not to blink. And I didn't get the joke. And so he was like, oh, it's a Doctor Who reference. I go, I've never seen Doctor Who. And so he sits me down and he shows me 2 episodes after we're done recording the video. The very first episode I saw, which is still my favorite, actually, is the Neil Gaiman, Matt Smith episode, The Doctor's Wife. And then after that, of course, Blink.
Oh, yes. I love that episode, too. I actually got into it because of I went to Supernova last year. Yeah, last year in Sydney. And there was a whole heap of people there dressed as Doctor Who characters. Now, I'd heard about Doctor Who before. I may have seen bits and pieces of the intro before. Specifically, probably the Tom Baker one. So
Yeah.
that one looks the most familiar to me. I've seen a couple of it since then. And and there was this really cute girl there, dressed as the Tennant Doctor, and a guy there that was also dressed like Tennant. So, but yeah, I got talking with them. They mentioned I should get into it and everything, and I put it aside, and then of course I got my QuickFlix account, which is like Netflix for the American listeners out there. And I watched the movie and didn't think that much of it. And it wasn't until I started watching the series from the beginning that I really got into it. And I liked the first Doctor a lot. I kind of consider him my first Doctor, even though technically it was Paul McGann. But there's like only one episode with it, one movie with him.
Well, let me ask you this. Did QuickFlix just decide to have the movie up? Like, was that how you watched the movie? It was just on QuickFlix?
They put it up to play, and like you can order it and get sent out to you. But like for some reason, like all the new stuff, except for like the Matt Smith stuff and End of Time is all streamed. Like a lot of the first Doctor stuff.
So you were like looking for Doctor Who stuff, and you saw the movie first, basically. You just like were looking through it and go, "Oh, the movie. I guess I'll watch that."
Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's sort of
so weird. I thought like they've been trying to bury that thing. I had to download that movie.
Really?
In order to watch it.
Really, you had to download it in order to see it.
You had to risk going to prison in order to watch it. But I don't think I really would have gone, because I don't think BBC wants to acknowledge the existence of it. Nor does Fox.
Well, the way I look at it is it's intro, and usually not a lot of them are great. I don't like 11th Hour. I think is pretty good, and Rose is pretty good. But normally, I just think it was like a really bad, like not a really bad transition, but a kind of a bad transition between the 7th and the 8th.
Well, no, I mean it's not anything with the Doctor that's bad. It's just that it's not even really that bad. It's just so bleh. It feels like an episode that you could just completely skip and not worry about at all, is the thing. it feels like Voyage of the Damned. Um, you know, it just has no real relevance to anything. It's not terrible, but you're just like, this exists, and then you kind of move on.
Mm.
Um,
Have you seen that GIF that's on that was on? It was on one of the Doctor Who things that I've seen. It's a thing of Paul McGann kicking Moffat in the head for because of the recent thing that they did.
well, see, I mean, there's no confirmation, and if there has been, I will slap you if you tell me. There's, as far as I know, there's no confirmation that he's actually the Eighth Doctor. I mean, it could really be anything that they feel like doing with it, and I'm not gonna love just completely ignoring McCoy's regeneration and everything, because honestly, I think the Seventh Doctor to the Eighth Doctor's regeneration is really cool. And like I said, the movie's not unsalvageable. It's just not great. Which is kind of sad. That's how American audiences were really introduced to the Doctor. But I mean, still, it's like, I don't hate the movie. It's just they just like don't want to acknowledge that it exists for some reason. The only real problem with it is the whole, the Doctor's half-human thing. That's the only major issue that it has.
And I don't really mind it. It's like, if he's half-human, I don't care.
Well, no, I mean, it's useless crap to, it's a contrivance just to, create drama. And it, you didn't need the half-human detail at all. I mean, they contrived the Eye of the TARDIS or whatever, the Eye of Eternity, just to give, this story some conflict, and just to make it so the Doctor couldn't close the thing, they made him half-human. It's really just a useless part of the plot.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of, whatever. It doesn't really bother me.
Well, no, it's not like it's terrible. It's just it contradicts other things for no reason for a contrivance in the film that is really kind of like the worst part of it. There's no reason for him to be half-human except for that one scene. And even then, it really didn't even do anything for the plot, so it was just boring.
I must say, though, when the guy that played the Master, sorry, I forget what his name is. I've got a photo with him. I should know his name. When he came out for Supernova and everything, he was really nice and everything. I got to ask him a question, but as the story goes, the person before me asked the question I was going to ask about him in The Dark Knight and how he was working with Heath Ledger and everything. That's a different topic, but I just want to say he's a really nice guy. Eric Roberts, that's him. Eric Roberts, who played the Master in that movie. He's really a nice guy. He was really entertaining. He was like the most entertaining thing about Supernova that year.
I don't know. What was he in The Dark Knight?
He played the gangster guy that broke his leg and was in the car crash with Harvey Dent.
Really?
Yeah.
He does not age well.
I would disagree with that. I think he's kind of aged well.
Nah, I mean, he looks significantly older. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I. That's how I got into Doctor Who, was through a cute girl standing in line waiting for Supernova.
Yeah, that's cool. So name of the Doctor, because that's the really relevant thing nowadays to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Series 7 as a whole kind of felt really, really kind of disjointed to me. I think Name of the Doctor kind of saves the whole series as a cohesive thing.
Yeah. especially the second half. Like,
Yeah.
I liked the Christmas special, the mid season one, and I liked which one was the one before that? The one where it wasn't the Christmas Carol one because that's the sixth season, the fifth and between the fifth and sixth season one. It was what was the one before Attack of the Snowman?
The episode before Attack of the Snowman?
The Christmas special, the one before Attack of
Isn't
the...
that the rip-off of Narnia one?
Oh, yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
It wasn't terrible or anything. It just, like, I honestly would like to see Matt Smith just have a single episode where he's got a child companion and that's it, and just is doing whatever the kid comes up with, and no, like, intergalactic threat or anything, just a cool episode. I think it'd be a lot of fun, just because Matt Smith plays off kids so well.
Yeah.
That it'd just be neat to see.
But yeah, they kind of rushed. They kind of. It seemed like oh crap, we got to write the other two out in Angels of Manhattan. But people keep complaining about that. I'm like, it kind of sets it in stone when you see it set in stone that they die in the past. So that's kind of my argument against it, is why the Doctor can't travel back and just pick them up, is because, hello, their grave is right there and it's set in stone. That they have to die there.
That's part of it. I mean, but he even says when he gets out of the paradox, or when they land back in the future, he says, I can never go back because we created an enormous paradox. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true.
And and people say, well, why doesn't he just go back to a year after? Or
no, he says he can never go back there.
Yeah.
So that's what was cool about it. It's just like he had trouble getting there in the first place.
Yeah, and he can't land in New Jersey or anything. It's just that it's too wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So when you saw the actual whoever it is going to be, what was your thoughts when did you?
Honestly, I don't know. It's Moffat. It all makes sense when it's done, but right now I'm just like, what's going on?
My reaction was similar. Was like, what? And then
what?
he says, yeah, it's sort of like, it was sort of like that episode. It was like...
Well, that is sort of that Tennant reaction. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I like seeing all the doctors on screen at one time or another. Even if they had to, just have Eccleston run past the camera. It's not really Eccleston.
It wasn't really Colin Baker.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, he looks old now.
God, Tom Baker looks so. Tom Baker let himself go, bro.
Yeah, but like, no, I was talking about Colin Baker because he's the one that wears like the...
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying Tom Baker let himself go, too.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys look ridiculously old now.
Maybe it's because they are.
Yeah. That's what happens when your show's off the air for, 20 years, is former cast members tend to age. No, I'm actually glad that they just recast him or used old footage to do it, because honestly, you look at the second Doctor, and he just keeps popping up in the show all the way up till the fifth Doctor, and it's just like you look too old to do this anymore. You don't look like the second Doctor anymore. You just look like this old man running around. And it just got to be a problem.
Even the first Doctor was up until the fifth one, but he had the decency to just appear on a screen, apparently. Like,
No. The first Doctor, they actually recast him. In the Five Doctors, they recast him. That's a different actor. They looked very similar.
Okay.
But in the Three Doctors, you're thinking of the Three Doctors when he's on the television screen.
Oh, okay.
Which I like. Other people think it's silly. I don't. I like it.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't.
Okay.
It's on my list. It's on my list.
Yeah. But I don't think I want to see modern day Tom Baker running around. You know, unless they give a really clever explanation for why these guys suddenly look so much older than they're supposed to. Because that is, like, honestly, the one thing about the regeneration that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot with is, well, the second you see them regenerate, they can't look older than that, you know? They can never look older than that. It doesn't make sense if they do. So.
True. Yeah, that's one of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually kind of sad that Eccleston only did one season, but I understand why. You explained it to me why. Telling me something. It was like that was it. That was going to be it for him.
I really wish he'd come back for the 50th anniversary. I don't understand why he doesn't.
I've heard him say both that no, I will not come back, and I can't really talk about that, you know.
Yeah, I know, it's annoying. I think they just paid him to tease people about it. Honestly, what I would like is if all right, here we go. Keep McGann and toss out him out at the same time. Create a paradox with the regeneration of the Eighth Doctor. That'd be interesting.
Paradox with him.
Yeah, like if you get McCoy to come back and he regenerates twice, he regenerates into two different people somehow. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Or, I suppose you could. Oh, let me pull up some pictures here real quick and just look at this. Give me 1 second. Paul, Nick, J-A-N.
Yeah.
And what's his name? John North?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I just wonder how similar they look. You could say that North is an older version of the Eighth Doctor. They age how they want. McGann was in Luther. That's right. Okay, I don't think... Damn it. Wait, shit. Control. On Hurt. I suppose you could pull it off if you really tried. Actually, they kind of do. No lie. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's John Hurt. Just a little bit with that shorter hair. They kind of look similar.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
You could pull it off, because, the doctors choose how old they look. Matt Smith established that. And, the whole Time War thing, so... You've got, essentially, an infinity to play around with the Eighth Doctor. I can't see writing out an entire thing of, major continuity, because, if the Eighth Doctor, you could write out that movie if not for the simple fact that you see the regeneration right at the beginning of it, you know?
Yeah.
That's the problem. You can't say it didn't happen, because then you're like, okay, then what happened to the Seventh Doctor?
And plus, they've shown footage of Paul McGann and from that movie in the show, so you can't. So they established that yes, they did continuity, and then until that happened, they a lot of people are saying, no, that movie's not part of continuity. He's the eighth Doctor.
Yeah, because they did that, like, in the 11th hour, there's that thing where you see all the Doctor's faces and McGann's there. Yeah. And I mean, like, other people were saying, oh, it's the real ninth Doctor, Eccleston was really the eighth, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that doesn't work, because Tennant has definitely said he's the 10th regeneration, and even in, like, just a couple episodes ago, Nightmare in Silver, there was a line, like, you've had some real cowboys in here, 10 of them. So it's like, you really can't do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they look similar enough. If you really didn't want McGann to come back and you want Jonathan Hurt to... I think you could pull that off. Because they look kind of alike. As McGann's gotten older, like, I'm looking at a picture here with Hurt with the beard and McGann with the beard, and they do kind of look a little bit similar.
And John Hurt's pretty old, but I really, like, I would love to, I've said this before, I'd love to see, a spin-off series where they did show what happened in the Time War, you know, and that would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I really would love not even a series, I would love a Time War movie, to be honest.
It's just, I don't think you can cover it in just one movie. Is the only reason I say, like,
you don't want to see the entire Time War, because then it kind of loses. Part of what's so good about the Time War is you just don't know what the hell went on. Like, they keep saying, like, the Nightmare Child and blah blah blah, and you're like, okay. So that's part of the charm of it, is you just don't know, but your imagination works for it more. I think the way you do a Time War movie is you just show the time lock happen. You know, you show the events that led up to the time lock, and that'd be great because you could get Timothy Dalton back, and it'd be amazing.
I actually was, like, really stoked to see him in the movie, and all the not the movie, the special that they did, because that was. Okay.
Right. The other thing I've heard is that Jonathan Hurt will be the 12th Doctor, which, I mean, I don't know why Matt Smith knows who he is, but whatever. 200 years of continuity missing! Yay!
Yeah, that's bloody annoying.
I don't know.
That was a big problem. Like, they had to fill in this huge gap there between, like, they started off. Oh, he's 1,100 years old now, or something.
No, he's 900 when Matt Smith takes over, and then at the beginning of Series 6, beginning of Series 6, I think, or maybe middle of Series 6, he's suddenly 1,200, and then 900 again, because he's crossed his own time stream. And you're just like, are you kidding? You can't just ignore 200 years of continuity, you bastards.
Yeah, it's understandable why he makes a bit of a jump, because there was that huge amount of time where he was just, like, appearing in all those specials, like I said before. It was just like,
What do you mean? Like, no, but dude, in the 5th series, Matt Smith is still like 907, 908 years old, whereas in Series 6, he's suddenly 1200. He was just running around for centuries as the 11th Doctor.
Yeah,
It's
that was
insane.
it was that was a big problem. It was, and like I didn't I didn't hate it really because it was like it was kind of explained, but it was like
No, I mean, I didn't hate it. It's just like, god damn it, 200 years of continuity gone. The hell's going on now?
uh, but I gotta say, so, I initially when I saw Silence in the Library and uh, whatever the other part of it was, sorry, I'm still not speaking episode titles yet. I didn't really like. Uh, oh God, River Song that much. I was like really like, they'll probably never explain this, and guess what? Eventually they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was cool.
yeah, and I'm like, and now I'm kind of disappointed because people are saying, oh, that's the last we're ever going to see of River Song, was like in the name of the Doctor, and I was like, technically they did leave a window open for it where she says, she tells him that that's
Say it
how.
like coming back.
Well, no, yeah, say it like you're coming back, and then she says, "Hang on, if she's dead, if oh God, I can't remember anyone's name now. If the
Jenna?
companion,
Jenna
yeah,
Louise Coleman,
oh,
Clara?
Clara is dead, then how am I still linked with her?" And he says, "Yeah, spoilers." So to me, that was I was thinking, oh, is this a hint that maybe she's still alive somewhere? Like she's been downloaded from the computer in the library, sort of thing. And I was like, cool.
I don't know.
But yeah, my thing too is there's that huge diary that she's got, and it doesn't appear to me to be with all that's happened. It wouldn't be that full. So why give her that giant diary that she's like always
No,
flipping
I
through?
mean they've established that he and River were off doing other things without like episodes covering it.
Yeah, they did do that, and but I wanted to see that adventure between the end, that last thing, that last date that they went on before the library one. I really wanted to see that on screen.
Well, you see part of it if that helps in
That
Night and the Doctor.
yeah, that was really sad that episode where he says spoilers.
Yeah.
I got my mother saying that now. Yeah, she reckons that she's such a cougar. And I keep saying, well, hang on, he's 1100 years old. And she's like, yeah, but that just doesn't look it. And and Matt Smith and her really do have a lot of chemistry on screen. And that was
Yeah, that's cool. Um, I don't know. I still want the Doctor to be a woman next.
yeah, yeah. I sent you that picture of someone saying Emma Watson is the 12th Doctor, and
Yeah,
that
I
was
could buy that. I think Helen Mirren would be better, to be honest. Um,
yeah. I I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be like, oh, that's terrible sort of thing. I'd be like, I would. It's not the wouldn't be the end of the world.
she's just a great actress, and she's such a badass after Red that I want to see that because it's just the 11th Doctor got to be such a badass. Sometimes I'd love to see Helen Mirren pull off some of those kick-ass just badass Doctor moments. Just like, I'm a Time Lord. I'm 1100 years old.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you're going to be able to get Helen Mirren just because I think she would fear that audio bite. Just getting Helen Mirren to say, "I'm 1,200 years old," and then just like every time anyone posts a video about Helen Mirren, "I'm 1,200 years old."
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine
The
that.
internet would not be her friend. She would have to be like the best doctor ever to not have that bite her in the ass. Um,
Yeah, I haven't got that many picks. Like, uh, the funny thing was after the name of the doctor, people were throwing up other people. Like, George Takei was one that George Takei as the doctor, and I was like,
eh.
I posted the obvious comment of, "Oh my." That was Rowan Atkinson is the doctor. That was actually funny because he actually did play the doctor in a special
Yeah,
of the.
see, that's hilarious. I don't know. I don't think Rowan Atkinson. No.
No, that wouldn't work. No, admittedly, that wouldn't work unless it was like really funny. Uh, only other like, I forget what his name is. Oh God, I'm terrible with British actors, but
There
some
are only like 5 of them. There are like 5 British actors, and the BBC has like 20 wigs. I swear. That's why they're all in the same thing. I was watching a trailer for that new show Tenet's in, and there's Arthur Darvill or Duval or whatever the hell his last name is. And I'm like, the BBC just has like 5 people running around set, and they just got a bunch of wigs. You know, David Tennant's in Series 5. He's playing Amy the whole time. It's David Tennant in a red wig, I swear.
Yeah, but the Hugh Laurie would be interesting.
Funny enough, you say that after Rowan Atkinson, because I just finished watching Blackadder. And it's so weird for me to see Hugh Laurie using his actual accent because my introduction to Hugh Laurie was House.
A lot of
So
a lot of
I'm just not
American.
used to that at all. Sorry for the train, everybody.
Yeah, well, I like trains. What about another Hugh Grant? He's not doing anything at the moment, so that might.
Hugh Grant? Really?
It's just I saw him in that that charity special uh with Rowan Atkinson, and he like played the Doctor for like 2 seconds, and I was like, hey, you know what? If it keeps up that sense of humor, it might work.
Nah, I don't think so.
It's
I just think doing like I've done a whole video about this. I just think doing white guy is kind of played out just because don't get me wrong, I love Matt Smith's stuff, but after Tenet, there's just not so much that you can do with white male anymore. He's kind of covered the gambit, and Matt Smith is awesome, but I don't get that same kind of feeling from him.
mm,
Um, so I mean, I'm sure that the BBC is listening to me intently, but I really think they got to do something different. Just cast someone that's going to be able to that because of just who they are as a human being, it's going to have to be different. So, like, I honestly am leaning toward, a woman personally,
mm,
female
that
doctor or a black guy.
mm, yeah, that'd be interesting. Like even Hispanic would work.
Yeah, I know this awesome Hispanic guy that lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I kind of know him as well, but I just don't see him playing Doctor Who because it's he's just way too thin.
Right, after Matt Smith and David Tennant, the human
Yeah.
whales. Um,
He's like literally a rail.
fair enough.
And I get the
Nah,
impression he's really short too.
Yeah. He might be, but that'll create interesting conflict. Think about it. There can be a whole episode where the major conflict is he can't reach something. It'll be thrilling. The Doctor's never had to deal with that before.
Yeah.
You're short. You're fat and ugly. That was hurtful. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Apart from Blink and the Name of the Doctor, what are some of your other favorite episodes? Are there any?
Like I said, my favorite is the Doctor's wife, just because it catches so much and it fixes a 30-year-old plot hole. Or even it fixes a 50-year-old plot hole rather, which is brilliant. That, and I love Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, anything that man touches is gold. But I also really like The Girl in the Fireplace. That's my favorite, just normal David Tennant episode. Also, just because, like, what I really like about that episode is it not only says things that are relevant to the situation, but just some of the lines in that episode just describe the Doctor perfectly. Just any version of the Doctor, and I really enjoy that. Like, the one line, everyone has nightmares, even monsters. And she's like, what do monsters have nightmares about? And he's like, me. I just love that line. Because yeah, sure, I mean, it works in the context of that episode, but it just works in general. Just in any version of the Doctor, you can imagine them saying that.
Yeah, I think even Matt Smith said it once.
Maybe, well. I don't know. There's that, and then there's like there's that line that she has that's something around it's something like you can't have the Doctor without the monsters, but I will bear a world of demons for just one angel, or something like that. And it's so perfect. I really love that episode. There are a couple other really cool ones here and there. I really like God, what is it? The one where they're at the end of the universe.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Just plenty of good stuff.
I think that's like the end of the universe. It's called as well.
Maybe.
That whole run with the Master is really really good. Like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And except for the end of time, where they just ruined it.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, like, it was really cool seeing multiple masters, but it was like, really, that's your master plan? How are you going to breed?
He doesn't have to breed. He's immortal.
It's just it was really weird. But
there are 7 billion immortal beings taking over a planet, and he was going to use them as an army.
Okay.
Like, they even said that. He's like, I've got 7 billion soldiers.
But wouldn't they all turn on one another? How do you know which one's the actual master?
Like, why would he turn on himself?
Why wouldn't he turn on himself?
Because he's going to rule either way, so he has no reason to turn on himself. It's all him. There's no one of them out there that's not him. They share thoughts.
Oh, okay. That too. I see that. It's been a while since I've seen that, and I watched someone's review of it, and they completely trashed it, and that might have influenced my. Well, they didn't completely trash it. They said the second part was better than the first, which I will kind of agree with, and that may have influenced my opinion of it as a little bit, and like him running around going, I'm hungry, might have been a bit hokey for the Master, until I saw another episode with him, one of the classic episodes where he was very much like Ming the Merciless type villain. And I was like, well, and that at the time that would have suited the situation, but it was really like that's not the worst thing. That's not the worst thing that's not the most bizarre thing the Master's ever done. So like
Yeah.
turning it like taking it back to the movie that they did. It was that was like I think that's the weirdest thing they've ever done with the Master. But,
Oh, with the snake master thing.
yeah, yeah, that can miraculously just shatter a wooden box for no apparent reason. But a few of my favorites actually, I saw this one like this was like the first one I got. It was one of uh, God, the Fourth Doctor's one, Tom Baker. Yeah, that's it. It was City of Death, and it was really interesting. Like it reminded me of some of the current stuff, but they were all half-hour episodes, and I remember getting to a point where they had six Mona Lisas and wondering how are they going to explain why this guy needs six Mona Lisas, and it was really interesting the way they brought it together. The guy was sort of fractured throughout time,
Yeah, I
and
thought that was a cool episode. I know the one you're talking about. I don't love the way it's resolved, at least the Mona Lisa part of it, but I really do like the rest of it. I just love him going back and just writing fake, fake, fake on all the canvases. Leo,
that
paint over these. Thanks. The Doctor. That's brilliant. He's just got that working relationship with Leonardo. That's cool. Tom Baker was fun.
yeah,
Actually, I pissed Deadpoolzilla the fuck off. He and I we're doing this series with Bill where we're reviewing each of the seasons
yeah.
of the new show, and oh god, we're reviewing each of the new seasons, and we're talking about series 3 and the ending, and like he just harps on and just trashes a bunch of stuff in the different series. And, he kind of nitpicks here and there. Sure, fair enough, whatever. Doesn't really bug me. But we're talking about series 3, and I'm like, okay. My major nitpick, the thing that, like, drives me crazy and actually makes me kind of hate it just a tiny bit, is that the Master has jelly babies. And, like, you gotta hear his reaction to that, because he's just like, he sounds like he's about to kill me. Like, that pissed him off so much. That was the thing that I didn't like about it.
And he doesn't say, "Do you want a jelly baby?"
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. I'm like, it drove me crazy that the Master has jelly babies and that Tennant didn't. I was like, that's the one, like, major Doctor Who thing that Tennant never did, and the Master got to, and I was mad.
I the thing I really don't like about Moffat right now is like I don't think since he's taken over as like the main creator of the series, he hasn't done a great Cyberman episode. I don't think. Like even the most recent one I thought of where he actually had that he actually had the army of Cybermen on screen. I felt really disappointed because it took forever to get up to that moment where you
Well,
had.
that was Moffat writing it. That was Gaiman.
But no. What I'm saying is, since he's taken over, I don't think there has been a great Cyberman episode since he's taken over, and I just get this impression that maybe Moffat doesn't really like the Cybermen because the best ones were done previously. Like you got these huge multi-part episodes, and I think in order to do a Cyberman episode right, it's got to be a multi-part, at least two parts
I
episode. Like
guess. I don't know. I don't really like the Cybermen that much. I mean, they're cool. I think they're all right. No biggie. To me at least. But I enjoyed Nightmare in Silver. A lot of people were really disappointed by it, but I'm like, dude, it's Gaiman. It was awesome. I loved seeing Matt Smith play a villain. I thought it was cool to see the Cybermen doing that like upgrade thing and just making them more like actual machines. I thought that was neat. I still don't get why they have to like live off of people, or biological sources. I think that's stupid personally. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. Like it's freaky. We're doing like there was a bunch of stuff done early on that, and even in that was like really freaky. And that's what the Cybermen should be. I don't care whether they're all robot or cyborg or what. It's just really like good. Like it's better like that. I think is like removing someone's brain and putting it into a machine is really can be really quite scary if it's done
Yeah,
right.
I don't think that it like really does anything for them though. I mean, like the whole thing is just it seems just like a contrivance to get them like to need people or what have you. I don't know. They're just okay to me. I don't love the Cybermen or anything. I like the Daleks much more. I
Mm.
love that one episode where we got to see the Daleks and the Cybermen talk shit to each other.
Yeah, and
That was
you just knew that the Daleks were going to win that fight.
oh well. I mean, sure they won, but it was still cool to see.
Yeah, yeah, and like who's more associated with Doctor Who than the Daleks,
Yep.
apart from the Doctor. Like so, you know. What do you think when they brought out the new Daleks?
You mean the God? What do they call them? The new Dalek paradigm.
Yeah,
Um, I thought they're okay. It's weird that they haven't really been in the series that often since that. I mean, they've they've showed up a couple times. You know, you had Asylum of the Daleks, but otherwise they've just kind of just been around. You know,
mm,
uh, if that makes sense, they've just kind of shown up here and there, but they've never been the major threat of an episode, which I'm fine with because, to be perfectly honest, the thing that kept driving me crazy during the Russell T Davies run was that every season we were dealing with the last of the Daleks.
yeah, yeah. Oh no, that's not the last Dalek. That's these are the last three Daleks. Oh no. This is the last Dalek. There, no. There's still this army of Daleks. It's sort of built up from there. It was like
Yeah, I mean, it's
crazy.
just like it was cool, but I mean, that's the kind of thing that they wrote themselves into is that, you know, they kept killing off the Daleks and it was the last of the Daleks, but then they wanted to bring the Daleks back. I'm like, okay, I guess.